The poker room has always been a magnet for colorful characters. Tonight, we bring you one of its most vibrant personalities.
Better than sex. I'm lying.
Freddy Deeb, that guy has zero fear.
What, are you trying to scare me?
He's the guy that I respect the most.
All right.
He's got some temper, though. I'm thinking about what would happen if someone gets him mad at the final table, you know, if he can control himself.
You know what you're doing? Huh? The impression I give, the way I play, the way I bet, is that I'm the biggest sucker on the table. Second best thing to a pair is an ace, right? If they're stupid enough to take it, that's good enough for me.
Deeb would love to have a final table full of sitting ducks, but there just may be a few wolves in sheep's clothing.
I hope I pass you all tomorrow, one by one, boys.
Welcome to the Rio in Las Vegas in the 2005 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Tonight's Pot Limit Championship is an international affair. 7 countries represented, including the United States. Hello, everybody. I'm Lon McCarron alongside Norman Chad. And Norman, a table that features a hairstylist, a nomadic poker player, and a mixed bag of experience. The action and atmosphere just might be dictated by the incomparable Freddy Deeb.
At a glance, Lon, Freddy Deeb is a cartoon character. The way he acts, the way he talks, and the way he looks, punctuated by his now famous TV shirt. But he's more than a stick figure. He's in the upper echelon of poker pros, carving out a living in high-stakes games.
And there's Freddy. It looks like he's gone into his closet. He's got a slight variation on his famous TV shirt.
There's Marco Traniello, 31-year-old hairdresser who just started playing, but he has the good poker fortune of being married to Jennifer Harmon.
Marco's got 104,000 chips. Freddie 127,000. Ajay Shah, the current leader at the table, and the chips amazingly evenly distributed. We are playing pot limit with the blinds at 3 and 6,000 right now. Marco Traniello gives it up.
Lon, I'm going to tell you something about Marco you already know. This guy's a good-looking fella.
Over to Edward Moncada, parents from Bolivia, born in New York, raised in Oklahoma, on the Milwaukee's Best Light pocket cam, ace-8 offsuit.
Raise.
And he raises the big blind 12,000. It's 18,000 total to Yoshitaka Oku from Japan with kings. He's going to raise it up.
Remember, we're playing pot limit, not no limit. No limit, you can bet all your chips in any time. Pot, you can only bet what is in the pot at that time.
And the pot was bigger than Oku's stack, so he is all in. Over to Elia Ahmandian. He's got 8-5 offsuit. And he folds it away. Back to Moncada.
I have to call. I call.
And he calls Oku.
Not too much more from Moncada to call down. Oku's all in.
So Oku with a good chance to double up in this tournament through Ed Moncada, sitting on 2 kings. Moncada with the ace-8, and now the flop comes 3-8-8. Moncada flops the last 2 8s in the deck.
Ooh, horrific luck for Oku with pocket kings, and he's going to need to see a king, else he's going to be out of here.
So the turn card is a 6, useless to Oku.
And Oku down possibly to his last card. He needs a king.
And now the river card is a 7. So Ed Moncada makes quick work of the short stack Yoshitaka Oku, who exits in 9th place, wins almost $20,000.
So much in the pot there. It's tough to lay it down.
Moncada draws first blood here at this final table. Sounds like he's got some fans in the stands. And we know Marco Traniello has a very interested fan in the outer tables, specifically his wife, Jennifer Harmon, who's playing in her own tournament out in the outer tables, but she seems more interested in what Marco's doing.
Yeah, she's playing 2 tables at once.
A bit distracted. So the ice is broken with 1 player gone. There is 21-year-old Stephen Hudak.
And he went to the University of Maryland like I did, Lon. The difference is I graduated.
He left Maryland to come to Vegas to play poker. He's got ace-jack in the hole. He'll raise it up. Probably still a tough road ahead, being a terrapin, though. Ahmandian folds. Action 2, Marco Traniello, who says, no thanks. Freddy Deeb, front and center as usual.
You know, the sad thing about Freddy Deeb, Lon, who's got pocket queens, he dresses better than I do.
And Freddy will call the 16,000 bet that Hudak started things with over to Ajay Shah as part of the international contingent from India, lives in Belgium.
And as he raises the pot, another difference between pot limit and no limit, people see a lot more flops in pot limit because in no limit you can go all in before the flop and drive people out, but as we said, you can only bet the size of the pot in pot limit.
Still too rich for Hudak's blood, so he folds his ace-jack on Freddy Deeb now. Freddy with the better cards will call Shah, and so we'll go heads up to the flop. Ace-king trailing the queen-queen of Freddy Deeb. The flop comes down 10-4-8. No real help for anybody.
That strengthens Freddy's pocket queens. Nothing in that flop is going to scare him.
Freddy says all in. He's going to push hard with the queens. So now Ajay Shah. Ace-king is good. Nice-looking pocket cards, but...
Yeah, but he got no piece of the flop, Lon. Right now he's counting out the chips to see actually how much he would have left if he calls that. To me, it's a tough call.
You must not like your hand too much. You're still thinking.
He's got a point.
Sometimes players fall in love with ace-king when they should muck them, particularly when they miss the flop.
Have you heard that saying? You think long, you go wrong?
I've never heard that, Lon. I have heard 2 wrongs don't make a right, and that one just always seems stupid to me.
Pass quick or call quick? That's the best way.
Similar version of the previous pronouncement.
He's got many ways to say the same thing.
Well, let me take my glasses off.
Freddy seems entirely too comfortable with this hand.
Well, Freddy obviously thinks he's got the better cards. Pause for concern for AJ, says take it.
Ace-king?
So Freddy Deeb wins the hand.
You'll see it on TV. I don't want these guys to know. You'll see it on TV.
He knows more about TV than I do.
Well, I hope AJ feels better about bucking his ace-king after he watches his telecast.
Thank you.
The 2005 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, brewed for a man's taste, Miller Brewing Company, and in part by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward. And Harrah's Entertainment, home of the world's richest poker tournament. The World Series of Poker presented by Milwaukee's Best Light.
Welcome back to the Rio. Jennifer Harmon on break from her tournament has decided to come check in on her husband. Mike Mattisau hanging out as well. Oh, and Daniel Negreanu, too, offering his support.
Go get him, superstar. Somebody's got to hold the fort up in this family.
Geez, Marco's got a Murderer's Row cheering section over there.
That's probably a big reason why he's made 4 cashes already in this year's World Series.
Yeah, he's ahead of the pack. It's just stupefying how well he's playing.
Deeb and Shah fold. They just tangled a moment ago. They'll take a break over to Ed Moncada. And he's got ace-10 of spades, and he'll come out with 18,000 chips to Marco Traniello.
If I were going to go to a hairdresser, Lon, I'd go to Marco, but I go to a barber.
He'll probably take you. Anyway.
Please.
Couple of 7s, and he's going to raise. Jennifer does not look happy about that. 39,000 more.
I don't know if I can lay this hand down. Let's go. I'll put you all in.
And Moncada is going to re-raise to put Marco all in.
Oh, what is Marco going to do?
Just a pair of 7s for Marco Traniello, and he puts the rest of his chips into the pot.
Well, actually, Marco did the same thing Jennifer would have done, called all in.
Oh, Jen can barely stand to watch.
And he's got a coin flip situation here. He's got the pair against the 2 overcards that are suited.
So Moncada with a chance to knock off another player. He looks at coach, wife, friend, Jennifer Harmon. Had to try it.
Now, she's supposed to instruct him he's supposed to stand up.
7-3 queen. Oh, a set for Marco Traniello.
That is one happy poker couple.
So Marco vaults into the lead. Moncada needs a lot of help and needs it real quick. Turn card is a jack. Well, he's picked up a gut shot straight draw.
I just need a king. That's it.
Marco looking to survive one more card.
Don't worry, you're going to win it, babe. You're going to win it. You'll be all right.
Oh, that's the kiss of death.
Oh, please, no king.
If Marco can dodge a king, he'll avoid elimination and double up.
It's an ace, not enough to win it for Moncada. And Marco Traniello survives his all-in with a set of 7s and takes the pot. Well, Jen Harmon has obviously passed on some of her skills to Marco. You know, his improbable journey to this room began with a chance encounter while on vacation from his Italian home, and that changed his life forever.
I'm married to, I think, the greatest woman in poker. Her name is Jennifer Harmon, and she's my inspiration, my teacher, my life right now.
We met in the parking garage at Bellagio. I mean, usually you run from somebody in the garage, but I stayed and listened to what he had to say.
My car parked next to her. I was going to dance, I asked her out, and she decided to come.
We were married in, I think, 3 weeks.
It was very fast, actually. He was eating a macaroni grill, and I said, "What, do you want to have a dessert or you want to get married?"
So I said, well, let's go get married.
So now she's my best friend, my wife. She's everything, really. I play poker because I used to sit behind her in the big game. She played with some of the greatest players ever, like Doyle Bronson, Chip Reese, Chao Cheng.
So not only did he get to sweat my cards, but the other players in the game would show him his cards too. It's a great learning experience to actually watch some of the best players play. And he caught on really fast.
I guess I pick up something. Now I'm a poker player, and I want to get a bracelet eventually.
They met at the parking garage at Bellagio. Some guys have all the luck, Lon. My first ex-wife left me at the parking garage at IHOP.
You run in different circles, obviously. Jen Harmon goes back to her table. Marco Traniello folds his cards. Over to Freddy Deeb. And he's got a suited ace-7. And he's reaching for chips. And he comes out with 16,000. The rest of the table folds. Steve Hudak says no thanks.
What does he know? He's 21.
Edward Moncada now.
In the small blind.
4 deuce.
I'm going to raise.
And he's going to raise with it.
Which is in the pot?
A little feisty.
Moncada checking the pot. There's 38,000 in the pot right now. And that's exactly what he's going to raise. I think he's targeting Freddy Deeb.
What you got left? How much money you got left? What, 60?
Yeah, about 60.
Geez, when you raise with that hand, with just 60,000 left, geez, I wish Marco Traniello had met him in the parking garage at Bellagio.
That good, huh?
Well, Freddie makes a living out of making correct reads. He finished 17th in the 1995 main event. He finished 13th in the 2003 main event.
Freddie, I don't know that he's got a read on Moncada.
What are Moncada's cards again?
4 deuce.
I'll wait for a bigger kicker.
Deeb folds it.
I got a strong kicker.
He shows him his 4 with a deuce kicker.
Adding insult to injury.
Good play.
Through gritted teeth.
Good play, man.
Deeb's just been had by Moncada, and Moncada wins it on a nice bluff.
You got me steaming, man.
Now we got a game.
Deeb speechless? Thought I'd never see it. Welcome back to the Rio, our pot limit championship. Freddy Deeb is the man to beat right now with 235,000 chips. Marco Traniello running just short of average, and Elia Ahmandian in danger of being blinded off if he doesn't play.
I've mentioned that he's good looking yet, Lon?
Yeah, you did.
Have I mentioned the shirt here yet?
The shirt you did, yeah, already.
All right, my checklist is good.
A short one today. Ace Queen for Freddie.
That's it, baby. That's what I like to see.
Comes out with 18,000 chips.
What, you're guaranteed to call? Maybe you don't call.
I'm calling you blind, baby.
Ahmandian already in the big blind,
No,
only
I
has
haven't looked.
4,000 left and will call anything.
So Ahmandian has not looked at his cards.
How much he's got? 10?
What you got, baby?
Ace Queen.
What a hand. Let me look at one. Okay, I got 2 live cards.
Ahmandian with King 6 of hearts.
Good luck, man.
Good luck to you too, Freddie.
And Ahmandian all in with his final 10,000. Ahmandian trails going to the flop, and it comes Jack King for Ahmandian. Finds a king.
Easy, easy, easy. Keep him down.
Ahmandian now feeling life with a pair of kings. He's ahead.
Keep him down. Keep him down, baby.
Freddie's the quiet one on this hand.
Keep him down. Keep him down. Keep him down.
And now the turn card, a Jack. Deep, not helped by that.
Keep him down.
Ahmandian wants them down because Deeb can still knock them out on the river. With an ace or a 10 would make Freddie a straight.
Baby. Jack of spades. Jack of spades.
And the river card. It's a 3.
That's it, baby.
Good hand.
Thank you.
So Elia Ahmandian, who went all in blind, still alive in this tournament.
When I take a bad beat, they all take a bad beat.
Ahmandian, though, picks up a little bit of lifeblood, keeps his seat at this final table. Just a minor setback for Deeb, but no worries. If anybody knows how to overcome adversity, it's this man.
The town I lived in, it was a population of about 30,000 people, and I was the first one to come to America, which was a really big deal, not just a big deal, a real big deal. I came to go to school in Utah State University, and my parents were sending me money to go to school, and the Civil War broke out in Lebanon in 1975. I lost touch with them for about 2 years. It was mind-boggling at the time. No telephone contact, no mail, nothing. Totally cut off. I didn't get any money. I tried to get a job. I couldn't because I was on a student visa. I started gambling, and I was doing good at it. Kept playing higher and higher. The more money I got, the higher I played. And here I am, still gambling. My father, he knew one thing, that the best thing you can give your kids is education. Unfortunately, I didn't fulfill his dreams, but he understands, you know. I'm just thinking about going back and getting my degree now. I think it'll be fun to just go back and get the degree and just, for the hell of it, just hang it on the wall, you know.
Freddie left Utah State just 12 credits shy of his degree in mechanical engineering, and that gives him some common ground with Stephen Hudak, who had planned to go to graduate school in physics but left Maryland 1 year shy of his degree.
Hudak checks his cards and decides the better of it and gives it up. Moncada also over to Ahmandian. A couple of 7s in the hole. Marco Traniello had a nice result with pocket 7s a short time ago. Again, short stacked Elia Ahmandian. That's 21,000.
Man, that Marco's a good-looking fellow, Lon. Is he married?
Check your list. Freddy Deeb folds. Action on David Cossio, who's a math professor at UTEP. Maybe he could give day classes to Deeb and Hudak, and they could finish their degree.
How much do you have left? How much I have left? 48,000.
I raise the pot.
Oh, Cossio with kings is going to try to eliminate Ahmandian.
Ahmandian would like to hang on to these chips beyond this hand if he could.
Pair of 7s. Trails big time to the kings.
What could you have that you would do that?
Well, he could have a pair of kings. See how smart I am, Lon?
You graduated.
Do you want me to call you?
What's with the George Jetson sunglasses?
Huh? You do want me to call you? Well, you're not saying nothing. So that means you probably want me to call you. Right? All right, I call.
So Ahmandian's going to push everything in with his 7s. And this is our degree all-in moment, and hates to see the kings. So Cossio with a huge advantage as we go to the flop.
7, baby.
And the flop, 8, 5, 10.
Come on, 7. Give me a 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 7.
I believe he needs a 7, Lon.
He got the queen on the turn, though.
And Ahmandian down possibly to his last card.
River card now.
Is that his jockstrap?
I'm not sure what that is.
2 cards left.
He's got to have a 7.
2 cards. Come on.
It's an ace. Cossio gets the degree check mark. His kings knock off Elia Ahmandian. Ahmandian will go away in 8th place and win almost $30,000.
The All-In Moment is brought to you by New Degree for Men who take risks. It won't let you down. The Toyota Points Leader is brought to you by Toyota. Choose any direction, as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward.
Welcome back to the Rio.
Flops take so long.
Jen Harmon can hardly keep her eyes off our final table, even though she's still alive in the $5,000 no-limit event. And the distraction's not going to help her cause, as she is one of the many women in the field trying to rack up points for the Toyota Player of the Year standings. Liz Lou was off to a fast start, making a final table in the $1,500 no-limit event at this World Series and finishing 5th.
You're the best-looking female poker player.
Oh, that is sweet.
Annie Duke has been relatively quiet so far with a couple of cashes, hoping to add to the bracelets she won last year. But the lady who's been on fire is Cindy Violette. She's already cashed 3 times, including a runner-up finish in the $2,000 no-limit event. Violette is currently the points leader, with Jen Harmon chasing not far behind in 9th position. Of course, Jen trying to pick up some more points in her tournament, and husband Marco Traniello already has some points being here at this final table.
Marco used to sit behind Jennifer and sweat her in Jen's high-stake games, but after a while, he discovered the other players could read her hands because of his reactions, so her worst tell was her husband.
Traniello with ace-10 offsuit, and he is going to bet $28,000.
He's going.
And Jen knows something's up.
Boy, what a sixth sense.
Haven't been married that long, have they?
How many players do we have today?
She wouldn't have left her table if she had pocket kings, believe you me. I don't care how much she loves them.
So Jen's going to venture over to our final table and find out firsthand what's going on with her husband, Marco Traniello. Next to act is Freddy Deeb. Pocket 5s. He saw Marco go all in with pocket 7s earlier.
88,000.
So Freddy is going to raise it up. Ajay Shah gives it up. And Marco next to act. He's going to make the call and go all in.
And the poker couple's going to need help on this one to keep Marco alive.
Marco Traniello trailing Freddy Deeb's pocket 5s. And Traniello's tournament life at stake. And now our flop. 2 king ace, and Marco with the lead now.
And Marco indeed pairing his ace and takes a commanding lead of the hand as we go to the turn.
And the turn card. 9 of hearts. Marco's still good with the aces.
Freddy Deeb still in a position to knock out Marco, but he can do it on the river with a 5 and a 5 only.
One more card to come in the river card. Oh, it's a 5! Freddy Deeb gets his set on the river and knocks off Marco Traniello.
Wow. That was amazing.
It must be the shirt.
Marco's gone in 7th place with almost $40,000.
Oh, he'll make up the lost money at the hair salon, overcharging some grunge rocker.
Freddy Deeb now with 340,000 chips, a stronger chip leader right now. Marco Traniello's had a nice run so far, but Jen Harmon heads back to her office. She's got work to do. She looks like she took a bad beat, though.
I know.
Don't cry.
TJ Cloutier trying to offer some consolation to Jen Harmon.
She does look like she wants to cry, but when TJ tells you not to cry, you don't cry.
Meanwhile, life goes on at our pot limit final table. 6 players now. Stephen Hudak says no thanks. Action on Ed Moncada.
Moncada says the first hand he ever played was April 7th, 2001, and that same day he started an Excel spreadsheet to keep track of his earnings, and it took him 12 months to become a winning player.
It's not bad.
No, it's still taking me...
How many years?
Thank you.
Moncada limps in from the small blind. Freddy Deeb with ace-8 offsuit. And he will check his option. 2 players to the flop. Deeb in command right now. It comes out Jack, deuce, 5-0 for Moncada. He continues to trail Freddy Deeb.
Neither had much to start with. Neither got much out of that flop. And they both will check to the turn.
And the turn card. Whoa, that's the card Moncada was looking for. Pair of 7s.
That's an odd bet, though, Lon. The blinds right now are 4 and 8,000, and he has bet 8,000, the minimum you can bet.
Deeb just calls with ace high. Probably happy to see that small bet. Moncada now with the lead on the river card. Deeb fails to hit a card. Moncada gets the check mark, can only lose if he folds. Well, he's looking at a couple of overcards on the board. Does that worry him?
I don't know. And again, he's made an odd bet of only 12,000 over to Freddie. Freddie smells a rat.
But
And Freddy bets the maximum, trying to bully Moncada out.
Indeed, this is a pure bluff by Freddy Deeb. And Freddy perhaps trying to return the favor of that earlier hand where we saw Moncada get rid of him with the 4-deuce. This would be a tough call for Moncada. It's for almost all the rest of his chips.
I call.
Moncada calls it.
What a great call from Moncada.
Ace high.
There's something.
Once again, Moncada shows Freddy Deeb the winning cards. A pair of sevens takes Freddy Deeb down in that hand.
We hear from the Moncada gallery.
Good hand.
It's a good bet. I almost fold. So close.
The World Series of Poker presented by Milwaukee's Best Light.
Action already underway here at our pot limit final table. Shah Koumi has moved all in against Ajay Shah. Koumi leads with a pair of kings after the turn card.
Koumi is good friends with Freddy Deeb. Shah can knock him out of here if he gets an ace or a spade on the river.
And now the river card, another spade. He got runner, spades, and he stunned Shah Koumi, who's eliminated in 6th place, and he'll take home almost $50,000 for his efforts here today. Ajay Shah picks up some more chips, and now he is our chip leader at this final table. Ajay Shah with 330,000 chips. Ed Moncada, the short stack, with 117,000. Our blinds are at 6 and 12,000. No addies in pot limit play. Ajay Shah folds this hand. Action folded over to Steve Hudak.
Hudak told us very matter-of-factly that he'll play 30-odd events here and will cash in 4 to 8 of them. I wonder if he knows the record for cashes in one World Series is 8 by Chris Ferguson.
He's got Queen Jack suited, and he is going to raise it up to 42,000 to Moncada. Ace 9 offsuit.
And re-raise.
Moncada's going to move.
I re-raise the pot.
Moncada's going to push. Freddy Deeb already knows he wants no part of it.
I'm all in.
Moncada's going to go all in.
It's going to be...
And the count is 75,000 more chips to Steve Hudak.
He's going to crunch the numbers in his head. And remember, he went to Maryland. We get a good education there. I think if he's a true Terrapin, he would call here. Queen Jack suited's good in this situation.
Cool.
And he does indeed call.
Made me proud.
So Hudak calls. Moncada's all in. Hudak trailing just a bit to Moncada.
Just a little bit. It's virtually a coin flip.
So we got the Berkeley graduated Moncada versus Maryland's Hudak, and Moncada's all in. And Moncada's buds are right with him. Here's a flop, 3-9-6. Moncada with a pair of 9s.
Whoever hit that flop was going to take control of this hand. Moncada in a less precarious position now.
Turn card 5 of diamonds, no help for Hudak.
Hudak can still knock out Moncada on the river with a queen or a jack.
And the river card, it's an 8. Moncada wins the hand. Queen Jack suited, good starting hand on the button as Steve Hudak played it, but they failed him tonight.
I hate when Maryland loses. Must have been bad officiating.
So a nice pot for Moncada. He's a guy who's adopted a throwback poker lifestyle but added 21st century upgrades.
I am originally from Tulsa, Oklahoma. In the last 3 years, basically, it's like every 6 to 8 months I'm in a different city. With the internet, I can live anywhere. I've condensed my life down to my car, my clothes, and my computers, and I just travel. I figure I'm young and I'm single right now, and I can just experience a lot of different cities. I've lived in LA, San Francisco, Vegas, Seattle. With the various tournaments that are going on, I mean, I've pretty much traveled all over the country. After the World Series, I'm not really sure where I'm going. I'm gonna go to Chicago for a little while, maybe somewhere in Europe for a little bit. I could go anywhere. You know, all I need is an internet connection, my computer, and my brain. As long as all 3 of those are intact, I'll be okay.
Hey, I've got an internet connection and a computer too, Lon. What am I missing?
You went to Maryland. So action continues here at our final table. $2,000 pot limit hold'em, one of 42 events at this year's World Series, and Professor David Cossio with a couple of sixes in the hole.
The professor plays a lot online, as does Ed Moncada, and when they got here, they found that they've played against each other a lot after they discovered each other's screen name.
Cossio with a pair of sixes bets 42,000 chips. Hudak gets out of the way. There is Moncada. Will he play against his online nemesis? Nope. Over to Freddy Deeb.
Deeb won his World Series bracelet in 1996 for deuce to 7 draw.
And Freddy Deeb with king-queen offsuit. 42,000 chips to him.
I like Cossio a lot better when the sunglasses are on top of his head.
So Freddy makes the call, and Deeb and Cossio will be heads up to the flop. Cossio with the advantage. The flop, 5, 6, queen, both benefit, but Cossio has a set of sixes now.
Oh, this is treacherous waters for Freddy Deeb because he's made top pair.
Paired his queens.
88,000 all in.
Cossio calls. Freddy Deeb sees he's in a world of hurt.
Looks bad, man.
Yeah, you see the 2% graphic shows you how bad it looks for Freddy.
Looks bad, looks bad.
Cossio with 3 sixes against Deeb's pair of queens.
Freddy needs running queens or kings.
Turn card is a 3. Cossio earns the check mark, winning the hand.
Good luck, man. Good play.
Freddy got schooled by Cossio that time. He was drawing dead, and he goes away in 5th place.
Hey, man, I'm never drawing dead. There's a different tournament tomorrow.
And Freddy will be playing, and we'll be glad to see him at any final table. But what a boon for David Cossio. He picked up some much-needed chips. He moved up a notch on the pay scale, and most importantly, knocked off a very strong opponent.
I mean, I always think I can win. I don't care even if there were top-notch players on there, but you still have to catch the cards and have a little bit of luck. I mean, it would have been nice to get the bracelet, but it's okay. I still have time.
Welcome back to the Rio with the player chip stack so even here at our final table. The standings can swing wildly in just a hand or two. Not too long ago, Ajay Shah was our chip leader. Moncada was down on the bottom, and now those roles have been reversed. Action on Ajay Shah. He's got ace, queen of hearts in the pocket. And he raises 66,000 chips. David Cossio folds to Hudak.
Eric Froelich recently became the youngest World Series bracelet winner ever. If Hudak wins today, he'd become the second youngest ever at 21 years and 7 months.
Hudak's going to raise the pot, try to put Shah all in. 50,000 more.
Good.
And Ajay Shah is going to call and risk everything with his ace, queen of hearts.
Yeah, Shah had to go.
So pretty much a coin flip.
Good ring, Steve!
And there's the Hudak contingent.
And their man is in the lead right now with a couple of jacks. Shah with an ace, queen of hearts. Needs some help, and it comes 8-2-6. No help to AJ means good news for Hudak.
Sadly, I believe that guy went to Maryland. Shah is all in. He's going to need an ace or a queen eventually, or running hearts here.
And now the turn card. 8 of spades. Hudak running good right now. AJ running out of time.
Indeed, AJ down to perhaps his final card, an ace or queen on the river, or he'll be wamboozled.
And it's a 4, no good. Steve Hudak wins the hand. Ajay Shah was the chip leader when our final table began today. He goes away in 4th place and almost $70,000. And with that pot win, Steve Hudak just moved into the same territory as the chip leader. Only a few thousand chips separate Hudak from our chip leader, Ed Moncada. So only 3 left from what was a gigantic field. There is, however, one tiny field of players that is of great importance, and it's featured in this week's edition of The Nuts. It started as a dream for 64 people, dozens of scissors thrown only to be crushed by hundreds of rocks. And now that the dust has settled, the dream is within reach for a very special few.
It's a very exciting time here at the Rock Scissors Paper Championship. We're down to the Elite 8. One more round, we'll be down to the Final 4. I will tell you this about Rafael, he goes rock way too much.
I'm always thinking about my opponent. I try to see inside their soul.
I don't have to know what I'm going to go as long as I know what you're going to go.
I basically told him he has no chance of winning, so clearly I have to follow that up now.
It's important to stay flexible. I like this move. It also helps to stay on tempo.
I'm trying to be completely unfocused. Use the dollar bill, not focus at all, be a total airhead.
Can't get in my head that way because I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm just gonna sort of stumble my way through it and cross my fingers.
I'm married to poker, but Rochambeau is my mistress. Every waking moment, I think about Rochambeau and how I'm going to use these symbols to conquer opponents.
These truly are the best rock, scissors, paper players in the world.
It's so exciting. I can't believe it.
Final four, baby. It's on.
I'm married to poker, but Rochambeau is my mistress. Might be the quote of the year, but I believe Kevin Keller needs some serious therapeutic help.
All right, we continue with 3 players at our final table here. Pot limit hold'em, gold bracelet on the line. David Cossio with ace-queen offsuit. He's just going to call the big blind, limp in to Steve Hudak, 4-3 offsuit.
Oh, with those cards, you're happy to see a flop for free.
And he does check his option. The flop comes 5-2-4, a pair of fours, and a straight draw for Hudak. And that's why you shouldn't be limping in from the small blind.
Remarkably and surprisingly, you are right. But Cossio didn't do that, and now he is betting a little late, and he's betting into the better hand.
And also, Hudak has stolen the ace from Cossio.
Raise pot.
Because the ace,
I call.
of course, makes the straight for Hudak, and Cossio's going to call. Just got 2,000 more to put in the pot.
Still got 2,000 left.
And he throws everything in. So David Cossio at risk of being knocked out of this tournament.
He is a 3-1 underdog as we go to the turn.
A 35-year-old Cossio at his first World Series final table in danger of exiting his first World Series final table. A 7 is a blank on the turn. Hudak still with a big lead.
And David Cossio here will need a queen or a 3 on the river would give him a straight. The queen or the 3, the only cards that keeps him alive in this tournament.
Hudak's posse rooting him on, and now the river card, it is an ace, and that gives Hudak the wheel and the winning straight. David Cossio has been eliminated by young Steve Hudak. Cossio goes out in 3rd place, takes home over $79,000. And our heads-up showdown for the cash and bracelet is set to begin.
It's me and you, kid. See you, man. I was afraid it would come to this.
It's a good matchup.
The 2005 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, brewed for a man's taste, Miller Brewing Company, and in part by New Degree for Men. With twice the protection you need, it won't let you down. And Harrah's Entertainment, home of the world's richest poker tournaments.
Well, it's down to the final 2. Both were considered rookies at the start, but one will soon be called a World Series of Poker champion.
I'm extremely competitive and I want to win, and it would be great to have a bracelet.
I enjoy the competition and challenging myself to get better, playing against good people. Heads up is aggressive. You have to be playing a lot of pots.
I would raise every single button.
If they want to play crazy and fast, then, well, you know, I'll have to just pick my spots.
Once they sense that I'm doing that, now I become more passive and I start trapping them.
If they see that's what you're doing, then they might change a little bit, and it just keeps going back and forth.
The winner in the heads-up match is going to be not necessarily the guy who gets the best cards. It's going to be the guy that can manipulate the push and the pull.
Regardless of what happens, good job, man.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks.
As we begin heads up, Hudak's got the chip lead with 608,000 to 472,000 for Moncada.
You may recall earlier, Moncada was the short stack, went all in, was called by Hudak. He survived that, and now they're heads up.
Pocket nines on the Milwaukee's Best Light pocket cam for Steve Hudak. And you see the cash on the table, $298,000 to today's winner and the bracelet. And Hudak will raise to 48,000. Jack 5 of clubs for Moncada.
He's already in for 16,000 in the big blind.
And he will make the call.
What impresses me about Hudak, Lon, is he's just a poker baby and he just never seems to get flustered.
A chance to win a bracelet. Hudak with the advantage with the pocket nines. And now the flop. 5-8. Jack. Moncada pairs his Jack and 5. Oh.
And he is not going to try to trap Hudak here. He comes out betting.
50,000 chips for Moncada.
And remember, this is not no limit. You just can't push all your chips all in. It's pot limit. You can bet the size of the pot.
Moncada with the advantage right now with 2 pair.
Raise pot.
And Hudak's going to push. He raises to the pot limit. 196,000 more to Moncada.
I'm all in.
And Ed Moncada is going to push everything he's got into the middle.
The pot's now big enough that he can push the rest of his chips in. And now the decision is to Steve Hudak. If he calls this, it's for all of Ed Moncada's chips.
Ed Moncada risking his tournament, but he's got the lead with 2 pair.
Call.
And Hudak will call.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, Hudak got a little impatient here, Lon.
Close to 1 million chips in the pot.
2 pair. He's got pocket nines.
And if Moncada can take down this pot, he'll control most of the chips in this heads up.
So Steve Hudak, who started heads up as the chip leader, maybe a bit of a misstep, as you mentioned, maybe a little quick on the draw with his pocket nines.
Well, he still could get lucky on Moncada here and knock him out.
And the turn card's a queen of diamonds. Hudak now can win with a flush.
Actually, he now can make a straight flush. He's picked up a bunch of outs to hit a straight or a flush. So now Hudak, if he gets a 9, a 10, or a diamond other than a 5 on the river, he will become the second youngest World Series bracelet winner ever.
The river card will tell the tale. Is it over, or do we keep moving with Moncada, the chip leader? It's a 4. Moncada wins the hand. A huge blow to the chip stack of Steve Hudak. Ed Moncada took most of Hudak's chips, and now he is in command of this heads-up match.
Take a little break so I can stack my chips.
Oh, sure. We'll just take a 45-minute coffee break and let you stack up all of Steve Hudak's chips while he watches you.
Ah, you think Hudak's buds have lost money on this match as well?
They look down.
He started with 608,000 at heads up, and Steve Hudak down to 136,000 chips. First place money, 298,000. Bracelets sitting in those 100s as well. That's what they're really going after. All right, here we go. Steve Hudak, ace-8 offsuit. Almost any ace right now might be worthy of a play.
Oh, sure. You'll love to see an ace heads up.
And Hudak's going to push with 48,000 to Moncada. Moncada, pocket 8s.
And you love to see a pocket pair heads up even more.
Well, you're right, Norm, but maybe it's the fact that their 8s are causing some concern for Moncada. A lot of cards out there that can beat him.
And Moncada might not mind shaking loose of Hudak right now because with that middle pair, if a big card comes up on the flop, it could pair his opponent.
3 raise.
3 raise.
Pot.
And he pushes in 96,000, the size of the pot.
Back to Hudak. Of course, he has 3 options. Actually, he has 4. He can fold, call, raise, or go back to school and get his degree. And if he calls here, it'll be for most of his chips. So if I'm rooting for him, I guess I hope he folds.
All in.
No folding. He's going to push everything in.
I call.
And Moncada calls him.
Immediately. Moncada didn't have to think about it long, and he knows he's in great shape now.
You got 8?
Oh. Scott Fishman's jumped on the Moncada bandwagon.
Oh, Lon, sometimes a Maryland education lets you down. Hudak with a couple of bad reads here in heads up. And now Moncada on the edge of a championship.
It was not too long ago. Moncada was the short stack at this final table. Now with a chance to win his first bracelet at his first World Series of Poker final table.
Oh, nice low. Keep him up. Nice low.
Moncada's friends say keep him low. And 4, 9, deuce. Moncada now 3 cards closer to victory.
No ace means no help for Hudak.
Moncada has played brilliantly to get to this point, and now he's that much closer to a bracelet. The turn card. Queen of Diamonds actually helps Moncada's cause.
He's got less outs. I got the 8 of diamonds.
Indeed, a diamond draw now for Moncada, so the ace of diamonds will not help Hudak. He needs the ace of spades or the ace of hearts, or Edward Moncada will be our champion.
The river card, a queen! And that gives Moncada the win with 8s and queens. Steve Hudak eliminated. And Ed Moncada, the rambling gambler, collects the greatest Las Vegas souvenir he could imagine while defeating a very game Steve Hudak heads up.
I try not to let it affect me too, emotionally too much. The last hand, go out and not be able to win the bracelet, that's really the only hand that really hurt.
It was Edward Moncada's day as he had his way with the table.
It's legal to gamble, man.
And even the veteran Freddy Deeb.
You got me steaming, man.
Now we got a game.
Does winning a World Series bracelet tell you Las Vegas should be your permanent home?
I don't think it's going to change my life that much. Of course, move around a lot because I love my freedom. But I'll probably be in Vegas a lot more for a lot more tournaments in the future.
Congratulations to another first-time bracelet winner at the World Series of Poker.